right, Robert with Guitar Journeys. I am back. If you guys were watching me on my video I just done a little bit ago, um, I'll explain myself. When you make a video, for those of you that don't put videos on YouTube, okay, if you don't use the Studio app, and I'm going to tell you a little something about that Studio app. But if you don't use the Studio app to put videos on YouTube, you have to get out your computer. You have to put the video in your computer, right? You have to download it in your computer. And then you have to take that video that you downloaded into your computer and you have to put it into YouTube. And it takes a little time. I'm real lazy when it comes to doing stuff like that. I'm real lazy when it comes to the computer. But you have to, like I say, you have to download the video, then you have to take the video and you have to put it into YouTube. And you have to type out like what it is, what you're doing, what it's for, so people can read that and then watch your video. If you do it live on the Prism app, that's what I use. That's what I'm using right now. As soon as you're done with your recording, you can send it to YouTube. Just like that, man. It goes right to YouTube. Okay. If you use the YouTube Studio app, it will fill your phone full, right? It saves everything that you put in that app. Every video you make, every video that you take and put from that app to YouTube, it all stays in that app. So within about a month or 2 months, you're going to start getting messages on your phone that your storage is full. All right, I know I done it, and I tried everything. The only way to get your storage back is to delete that app. I don't know, man. It is, okay? I mean, unless you guys know of a different way, that's what I went through. So I don't use the YouTube Studio app anymore because it took up all my storage room. And what I do, what I have to do is I make a video, and then I have to download that video, and then I have to put it into YouTube. So it's a process. It's a lot easier on the Studio app. But like I said, again, it takes up all your storage. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, what is going on, everybody? So, all right, guys. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, my life, what's going on, what happened, everything. All right. We bought a kind of an older house, and you don't really realize it. You know, when you're buying the house, you don't really realize it. Let me put this down just a bit. You don't really realize it, but there's a lot of things around here. It's hard to get that lighting just right. There's a lot of things around this house that needs to be fixed. Can I let it go? I could very well let it go, but it starts to get like ran down looking and crappy looking. So, last winter was really, really hard on our porch. It has cement steps, and for some reason, the second step kind of disintegrated. Every time I would shovel the snow, I would get more of the step than I got of the snow. And by the time spring got here, you couldn't walk on that step. It was just almost gone. So I put some plywood over it, and I left it like that for the whole summer. It's just too damn hot to go do anything outside. So I had to take the time to fix that porch, and I've been putting it off uh, for a very long time. There was a couple of bricks missing on the front of the porch, right, next to the steps. There was a lot of mortar that fell out of the porch that needed to be replaced from the porch, like settling, and there was a few spots that needed painted. The bottom of the porch, it's in a pretty good sized porch. You can sit on it with. We have chairs and stuff that we set out there. So I had to scrape that thing. I washed it with a rag with soap and water. I sanded it with a sander. I filled in some of the holes with cement. My God, it took me 2 months. Okay, so I kept practicing my guitar, and then about like around noon, I'd go out and I'd work until about 3. So about 3 hours at a time. That's about all my old man body can handle. Then I got to go lay down for a little bit because my back is just throbbing. It's I have a really bad back, so I can only do a little bit of time, at a time. So, anyways, um, it took me about 2 months, and I got the porch finished. And then I told myself, okay, so let's go ahead and do some of the stuff that we've been putting off. I had to do some painting. I have this really big garage, and there's 2 garage doors, one on each side of the garage. The big garage doors. One's a double, and the other one's a single. But I needed to paint the trim around those. I replaced the weather stripping on the small garage door, and done some adjusting, done some cleaning, done some greasing, some oiling. Then I had to replace some of the wood that was on the garage on the corner. It rotted out, so I had to get up there on the ladder. That was a lot of fun. I had to replace that. Then I had to restain the back porch. It's made out of wood. And it's been needing to be restained for a couple of years. I've been putting that off. I'm real good at putting things off, man. I'll tell you that. Well, if I had my way about it, I would just devote my whole life to learning, practicing, and playing the guitar, and making videos and putting them on YouTube. I wouldn't even go out and do the nursing homes. I'm to the point where I'm getting tired of it, and I'm not. I'll tell you why I'm getting tired of it. It's the people that run the nursing homes. Okay, I get there. They say, okay, why don't you come and start like around 2 o'clock? Okay, so I need to get there at 1:30 because it takes me about a half an hour to get all my stuff set up. What's going on, man? How you doing, Jacob? So it takes me about a half an hour to get everything all set up and get ready for the people to come in to watch me. Well, I get there and they're not ready. They're cleaning the room. I'm like, all right, well, can I just come in and get things set up? And they're like, no, we don't want you to come in until we're done. Okay, that's cool. So that cuts it down to about 15 minutes. I have about 15 minutes to get ready. So I get in there. They've got all the tables pushed to the side. They got all the chairs stacked on top of each other, in 2 or 3 different stacks around the room. So now I gotta get my guitar set up, get my pedals set up, get my guitar tuned, get my iPad set up, connect to the internet. Then I gotta go around and get these stupid chairs and set them out for the people. There's been times where I had to go down and actually get some people because there weren't any people in there. That just to give you a little general idea of what I have to go through. And we had to do that crap yesterday. We went to a place, and the lady was actually in there. The lady that takes care of the activities was actually in there, in the room, while my wife and I were trying to move stuff around. She never moved anything, nothing. And then she kept complaining through the whole show that I was playing too loud. I'm like, lady, if I play any quieter, I'll just shut it off and just play like acoustic. Oh, it's too loud. It's just too loud. So I'm not going back to that nursing home no more. When I first started getting ready to play, they brought in 3 elderly women in wheelchairs. Well, one of them had shit in her diaper. Okay, I could smell it right away. And I'm like, well, this is real nice. I'm gonna have to sit here and play for an hour and smell shit the whole time I'm playing. And once you smell it, you can't not smell it. You know what I mean? As long as it's there, you smelling it. So, yeah, everything about yesterday got me pissed off. I texted this lady like at 10 o'clock in the morning and told her that I'd be there around 1:30. Just to give her a little reminder, because there was a couple of times that I went there and she's like, oh, I forgot you were coming. Okay, so I texted her about 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, hey, I'll be there around 1:30. And I got no answer. No answer at all the whole day. So when I got there and I seen her, I said, you know, I sent you a text earlier. And she said, yeah, I seen it. And I said, well, you could have answered me. Well, I was busy. Okay, so it just, kind of snowballed, right? So by the time we were done, I told my wife, I said, I'm not coming back to this place no more. She wants to act like a jerk. That's fine. Let her be like that, but I'm not coming back no more. Okay, so enough about that. But here's the thing, guys. I've been doing this almost 2 years. I have put on 52 shows. And I have experienced a lot in just a little under 2 years. I have experienced a lot. I've had to have people removed from the area where I was playing because they came in from outside and sat down and started talking to somebody in the area where I was playing. And they were talking like over me playing. So I had to stop playing and ask somebody if they could take that person out of there. Because I told them, I'm not playing with this person sitting here talking. If you guys want to, if you don't remove them, I'm leaving. So, come on, man. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to play, right? I'm trying to read the music and everything. And I've had people heckle me. Like people from outside. They were visiting. There was some guy that was visiting his dad. And then his dad was sitting with one of their friends. And they started telling me, like, play this, play that. And I asked them 2 or 3 times to just be quiet. Leave me alone. I told them, I don't take requests. I have a list of songs that I'm going to play. And if you don't like those songs, leave. But quit yelling to me when I'm playing. And they wouldn't say nothing, but then as soon as I started playing, they started doing it again. And I'm kind of a violent person, I will tell you. I'm getting real mellow. The older I'm getting, the more mellow I'm getting. But I have been known to be a little bit of a violent person. I have a real bad temper. And I thought about going over there, and punching the guy in the head. And I said, no, that's not going to come out good. Hey, what's going on, Justin? I said, no, if I go punch this guy in the head, he's either going to kick my ass or they're going to have me arrested. But one way or another, it's not going to be good. So I told my wife, I said, go look for the woman that takes care of the activity director, the woman who is the activity director, or anybody that works here. Go find somebody that works here. So my wife went and found some woman, And she came in there and I said, would you please tell these people to stop saying stuff? And she just said, what's the problem? And nah. And she sat there, and they didn't do anything while she was sitting there. And then I just finished up, and you know what? I didn't go back to that place because you wouldn't think that you'd have to put up with that kind of stuff in a nursing home, right? Hey, man, what's going on, dude? How's come you're not in school? What are you doing? You got the day off or what? So, anyways, guys, I was going to play at the hospital. They asked me if I'd come down and play at the hospital around Thanksgiving. And my wife works there at the hospital, and she works on the 3rd floor, and the 3rd floor is the 3rd floor of the hospital where my wife works is a nursing home. So I was going to go over there and play, but my wife sent me a picture this morning. They have the 3rd floor quarantined because of COVID. So I'm not going to have to go over there and play. And I got to put these pedals back. I took some of my pedals out yesterday to take with me. And I'm going to put my pedals back together here so you guys can watch me if you want. It's kind of a pain in the ass having to take the pedals off. Let's see what's going on. You're playing your guitar at the church? That's cool, man. What are you talking about? Oh, my guitar? Yeah, I believe it is like I'm not for sure exactly what they call that, but I know it's got like a cherry something. I've had that guitar for quite a while. I've taken it apart several times. I took it apart. The last time I took it apart, I replaced all the wires in it, and I replaced the switches. I put Dunlops in them. I didn't think that the ones that were in there, the Fenders, the ones that came with the guitar, I wasn't very happy that they wore out. You'd think that you build a guitar that it'd be good forever, right? But they got to the point where you couldn't play the guitar. Every time you would go to, excuse me, man, I gotta get this plugged in down here. But every time you would go to move one of the knobs, it would just give you a bunch of static and distort, I guess like static would be the right thing to say. It made the guitar unplayable. There we go, got all my pedals back in there now. So way back when, I got the idea to make this my pedal board. See how it's got the holes in it? It worked for a while, and then I got too many pedals, so I had to get a pedal board. And but now when I want to take some pedals, somewhere, this is how I take them. I'll put them in this little deal. Okay. So you're going to play your guitar at the church, huh? Pretty cool, man. You must be getting pretty good at it then. This light is not very good in here. It looks great. This is a beautiful guitar, man. But thank you, I do appreciate it. So, okay, when I bought the guitar, this had a was white, right? And these were white. Everything was white. Everything. Okay, I didn't like the knob right here, right? You know how these come with 3 knobs, right? One is a volume, 2 is a tone. You got a separate tone for different settings, right? So I think like what happened up here is for one, down here is for the other. I said, I can never see a time in my life where I would need that. I will never need that. And this knob right here, I worked with it for years to try to get used to it. And I could not get used to that knob being right there. I think now I probably could. But for years, I just couldn't get used to that knob being there. And what would happen, I am definitely a Fender person. I don't own a Gibson. I did want to get a gold top at one time. But now that I'm hooked on Fenders, I think that if I was going to spend the money on another guitar, it'd be another Fender. Anyways, I removed this. I took that knob off of there. I took the switch out of there. Now I have a volume and I have a tone. Okay, this knob right here, I kept hitting that knob. It wasn't a great big deal because I wasn't like out playing nowhere, right? I was just playing at home. But you'd be like trying to solo or trying to do something and you had it turned up kind of loud, and then all of a sudden you hit this knob and it would either just crank it all the way or it would turn it all the way down. So I don't know. I said, just going to do something different. I'm going to get rid of it. I actually watched a video where the guy showed you how to take the wires and hook it in so you could just use the one. Because I guess more than me have gotten that idea and done the same thing that I done. Okay, so that's where we're at on the guitar, right? I'm going to tell you a little something about this pick guard. I could not find a pick guard that didn't have the holes already drilled, right? And every pick guard that I found from every company, you get a pick guard for a Fender Stratocaster. It comes with 3 holes already drilled. I wanted a pick guard that didn't have any holes. I found this one. I had to order it from a company from, I think it was somewhere overseas. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember if it was the UK or Swedish. I'm not real sure. Okay, but I do know this. The shipping cost me more than the pick guard, and it took about 2 months to get it. Can you imagine how nervous I was when I went to drill these holes? It's a little nerve-wracking, I'll be honest with you. Because if you screw it up, you just screwed it up. The actual pick guard cost me, I think, about $50, and to ship it was $60. It was just a little bit more than the actual pick guard. But so, anyways, I did put it all together. I put it all together. I put these black covers on these on the coils, on the pickups. I got it all put together, and about a year later is when the knobs went out. And like I said, you couldn't play the guitar because every time you go to turn it up or turn it down, you just get like a bunch of static. So then I had to take it apart And I figured since I had it apart, and since I was going to replace these switches, I'm going to get rid of all the wiring that's in there. And I bought some wire, special wire for guitars. So I got pretty good at soldering. Okay, the trick to soldering is you need to get a solder iron that gets real hot. Okay, I had to learn that the hard way. If your iron doesn't get hot enough, you're gonna have a very hard time. If it gets super hot, it's real easy. As soon as you hit that lead, it melts. Okay, so all you gotta do is just like heat up where you're gonna solder, heat that up, and then you just put a little lead on it, right? Like on the switch. I'm rambling on. Let me just finish this up. You put a little bit of lead on the switch, right? You just heat up the switch, and then you touch it with the lead, and then it stays on there. And then you get your wire, and you stick your wire on there, and then you just touch that wire, and boom, it's done. It's real easy if you get the right tool. Okay, so Jason, the reason that I've been kind of gone is because I had to do a bunch of work outside. I have like a couple of months in the spring that I can do work. I have a couple of months in the fall that I can do work. And I wanted to get as much done as I could before the winter. So I really had to just put all my focus on doing that work. I'm kind of a lazy guy when it comes to doing work around the house and outside. So I have to kind of like force myself, I know how to do the work, but I'm getting to be an old man and I'm real tired of doing work. I just want to play my guitar. So anyways, that's where I've been. I've been outside doing work. I got an idea for my live videos. Okay, I'm not going to do it at night no more. Okay, there's too many people that are coming on there that are saying nasty stuff, bad stuff, disgusting stuff, trying to pick fights with me. They call that like trolling, right? Okay, so I'm not going to do any more live videos at night. Not of me talking anyways. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make live videos because I'm still trying to get my hours. I only got 600 hours, man. And I've been doing my YouTube channel almost 2 years. And I've only got 600 hours. So it takes a lot to get hours on YouTube. And you have to have 4,000 hours in order to get monetized. So it really does take a lot. You have to put a lot into it. Okay, so my idea to make videos, and some of you people are going to find it interesting. Some of you are not going to find it interesting, and probably are not going to want to watch me. But I'm a big pentatonic guy, all right? That's your roadmap. That's how you solo. Also, there are modes. Okay, so I like to go on to Spotify. Yeah, I'm bald. I got hair, I just shave it down. Okay, so anyways, I like to go on to Spotify and I get some jam tracks and I play along, with the jam track. The other day I was doing this and I come across this jam track that was for modes, right? So there's 5 modes, and these modes, they are an extension of the pentatonic. So every mode is the same as a pentatonic box. And the names of these modes, I should have got the book out because I can't remember all the names. and I can't remember them all in order, but you have the Ionian, the Dorian, the Lydian, the Mixolydian, the Phrygian, and the Aeolian. I believe I pronounced them pretty close to the right. Okay, so this jam track was like, um, it would say like A major in like the Dorian. And so you have to like try to play along with the jam track, but play in the Dorian mode, right? So, yeah, it didn't work too good for me because I'm like, damn, I really thought I knew the modes, but I don't know them good enough to play that with that jam track. So I thought what would be kind of fun and interesting, and I can do that without getting flagged from YouTube. YouTube is real sensitive about playing copy music. Um, Cover music. I'm sorry, not copy. Cover music. They don't like that, and they will flag the video, and the whole video is just no good. You don't get no credit for it at all. So you don't want to play cover music on a live video because it's worthless. You don't get no credit for that video. But I can play jam tracks all day long. YouTube don't care about that. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start out with, and I'll probably start this tomorrow. I'm going to get the course. It's for the modes, and we're going to learn like the modes. I will go through it. I kind of need to brush up on it. Each mode has some solos that you can play that goes with that mode. So we're gonna take, we're gonna take our time on it. We're gonna learn the modes all the way up and down, and then we're gonna do some of the solos, and then we'll do some of the soloing with backing tracks. So this should be interesting. Let me see here. I'm not done building my pedal board yet. I'm getting a very good start on it. I'm going to show you guys. Whoa, sorry. Y'all see that? That's my pedal board. So it's a Fender pedal board. And if you could see those green lights down there, that is a Fender power supply. That gives every pedal the correct amount of power. Not too much, not too little. They call it an isolated power supply. Okay, so I have about probably, let's see what I got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's enough room, I think, for 12. I'm going to take that. The red one is a looper. I never used that stupid thing. I bought it because I really thought I was going to use it, and I never use it. So I'll take and get rid of that looper. I'll just set it to the side. But I do have some more pedals that I want to get. Mainly pedals that have to do with soloing. How many guitars do I have? How many guitars are there? I only have I have 7 guitars, but I only use 5 of them all the time. One of them is the first guitar that I ever bought, and honestly, it's not really in good working condition right now. I had to take I took a couple of the parts off of that to put on one of my other guitars. The other guitar I have is a, it's a, I'm kind of trying to think of the name of it. Damn it! What's her name, bud? Epiphone. It's an Epiphone. Okay, that was my first electric guitar. Whoa. I bought that at a pawn shop. I bought the guitar and a little amplifier. That was my first electric guitar. And yeah, I bought, that thing has a lot of sound to it, man. What's going on here? A lot of noise. The other pedal that I want to get, and I think that might be my next pedal. Boss. Now I know that other companies come out with the same thing, but Boss has a really nice pedal that quiets that down. I don't know if you can hear that hissing noise. That's from the pedal board. That's from that Ibanez. The Ibanez tube scream. We turn the drive down a little bit, and the level, it'll quiet down. But they have a foot pedal that I believe is called a noise reducer, and it's probably also has like, I'm trying to think of the suppressor, I think is the name of it. A pedal that holds the current. One guy, I seen a video where the guy explained it the best, like with the water faucet. You have the water on, right? And you turn the hose, turn the nozzle, and the water comes out, and you twist the nozzle and the water don't come out no more. That's how I believe it's called it's not called a compressor. Maybe it is a compressor. Anyways, what it does is it keeps the current right there. It doesn't let the current go out. It keeps it right there. So when you play, you get more of the current. It stays right there. I know you have to get like real technical, and I'm not a real technical guy to explain exactly how that works, but it will quiet this down, and it'll keep all the signal in the pedal board. So that I think is going to be my next pedal. Suppressor or a no, not a compressor. I have a compressor pedal, but it actually does that too. It keeps the current in there. Anybody know what I'm trying to say? Help me out, man. Suppressor? I'd have to look it up. I got too much crap going on in my brain right now. Let's see. Okay, I'm connected. I got this little Bluetooth adapter hooked up to an old Pioneer. And we're going to play some jam tracks. Okay, this is a G. Let's see if it says. It just says a G. So let's see what it sounds like. Let me get it tuned up here, man. If you can see what I'm saying, like it takes a lot of practice to play through these boxes and without making a mistake. I mean, you really got to know what you're doing. And then in the blues, one of the key things about the blues is that you mix the major and the minor. The major and the minor sound mixing together like that gives it a real bluesy sound. So it really helps, like with the Moises app. That's why I really push that Moises app to people, is because it shows you, like, okay, one, it shows you what key the song is in, so you don't have to guess. The other thing is you can watch the chords as the song is going. So I've heard this a few times, that on the one chord, which let's say you're playing the A, D, the D and the E, okay? A and the E, right? So what you want to do is play the major on the A, that's one chord. Okay? I don't know what that jam track is that's playing right now. It's a D minor. But see, like on these jam tracks, it says right there, D minor. And I got this off of Spotify. So, you're gonna play in a D minor, right? Where's your D at? Okay, you're gonna start over here. You can start here, there's a D right here. So what I do is a D minor. The D minor is going to be the same as the A minor, only you're going to use the D as the root note. Right, here's another D. Here's another D. Okay, another thing you can do is come down here to this D. You have a D right here. Did I do that right? Yeah, there's a D right here. this D right here. Play the 1 right there. You're playing the 1 right here. And it's going to be the 5. And the 4. You're on your D. See what we got. E minor. Hang on a minute. We're going to do something different. We're going to use the fuzz. right, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. That's how I practice my pentatonics. And it's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of good practice. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Nobody's gonna want to watch me for an hour. Dang. guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert, this Guitar Journey. Thanks for watching, man. Peace out. Love y'all. Check you later. Check me out tomorrow about the same time.